say that most of the time, no one is going to be offended if you make eye contact with them.
Right.
Because they understand, like, you know, they understand looking at you that you're not Japanese, so you don't understand the culture.
You get a lot of leeway.
But if you do use some things like that, it'll go there'll be a big difference. They'll be like, wow, this person, you really understand Japanese culture because you're so polite and you do this and that. They love it.
So,
when you meet someone, I know you bow, but so no shaking hands, right?
now, okay, what I'm going to say is that it's what I'm presenting to you on is Japanese etiquette, and it's a way to show the people around you that you know Japanese culture and you want to respect it. But you know, like Jessica was saying, they're going to look at you and know that you're not Japanese. So sometimes people will want to shake your hands. They're not going to want to hug. By the way, let's just
where it's like the bow shape.
Yeah,
they're
the
not
mix.
sure which one you're gonna do, and so
So it's just you're kind of like trying to.
It's like a handshake or fist pound.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
you
do, yeah, I'm always fist pumping my bosses. And which just really quickly, like hugging. I have some really good Japanese friends, and still, it's like, like I don't know what to do. Like you're freaking me out. So you know, it's about personal space. Just respect that. Like I love hugs, but in Japan, I just don't do it. I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable, and it's awkward for me too. So. And then finally, yeah, modesty is key, and then confrontation. We've been over these, you know, it's just all about being humble, lowering yourself, toning it down a few notches. Not like I'm doing today, being kind of crazy. Unveiling the honne. So this is, you know, in Japan you have different parties for all occasions with your office. You've got enkai, which are just kind of standard get together after work, have some drinks. You've got the Shinnenkai, the New Year's parties. You've got the Bonnenkai, which literally translated means forget the year party. Just forget it. And Sobetsukai, if people are leaving. You definitely please go to these. And P.S. on a totally different note, don't go to Big Daikon. That website is full of so much negative energy. Just, you know, all these forums, I would just say to avoid them and go, you know, listen to what we have to say because we have such a wealth of knowledge and experience, but just try and go with a clean slate and leave that negative stuff behind.
How many people are on the Big Daikon? Or I think I'm lost. There's always different forums out there.
It's a really
This is why I love my
forum.
Denver Jets. They
This
are
is great.
so awesome. Yeah.
When I left, everybody was all over that website. It's just a really
that's
negative, a
awesome.
bunch of negative forums, but
The Jet program forums are okay though, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's fine. This is just a totally different, that's a totally different kettle of fish. But anyway, try and go to these. Obviously, you have your own social life. I know that sometimes they have them on Fridays. You're going to be there a while. You'll have a lot of Fridays. You know, take this one Friday, go with your colleagues, because this is when the walls come down and you really learn about your colleagues and they really learn about you, and it just makes things wonderful for everybody. Monthly money pool, every month, usually in offices, you have to contribute a little bit. That gets used towards these parties. Some people crib about it and they say it's not fair. I say, when in Rome, get over it. You have a great salary. The exchange rate is amazing. You know, 1,000 or 2,000 yen a month, not going to kill you. And it means that everybody can have fun. Kimochi dakede. I didn't drink either really when I was in Japan. And you know, you get offered things, and like Jess had mentioned, or I think maybe it was Kim. Don't just say, oh no, I don't want it. You know, if somebody offers you something, you could just say kimochi dakede, which just means, you know, basically you're saying, well, I'll just take it as a gesture, but I'm not gonna get wasted with you guys.
Also, like, if you drink your full glass, they'll come around and pour more into your glass.
Yeah.
So the way that you say I'm done drinking is you leave your glass full.
Yeah.
They'll still try to fill it.
They'll still try to fill it. And when it comes to serving yourself and others, you know, really impress them, look around at you, and if you see that somebody's got a glass that needs filling, they've had a few sips, you know, be respectful, fill it up for them.
You never pour yourself your
Yeah, and if you pour your own drink, there's an expression to say, which is kind of like, I guess, literally translated as, I don't know, I'm a loser. I don't know, like I'm losing, omakase. Yeah, I'll leave it up to me or whatever. But you know, they'll look after you anyway. But it's more about the point I'm getting to is looking at the people around you and you know, filling their drinks. And yeah.
I just want to say something about everything. if you do find that like your glass is empty, you want more to drink, and you want to fill your glass up, but you don't want to seem kind of rude, you can pick up the pitcher or whatever it is, and you can fill up everyone else's glass and do yours last. And that way, that's kind of the way to get around it if no one's paying attention because they're all wasted.
Or one more strategy is you can just offer to fill one other person's glass, and if you do, they'll usually notice that yours is not full and they'll reciprocate.
Just carry your empty glass with you and you'll see it after this.
Yeah.
Looks sad.
And I've just got a few more points, and I apologize for going on. Speeches, sometimes you have to give them at randomly. They'll say, oh, why don't you say a few words? So just, just go with the flow. Karaoke, usually these things can go on forever. And I would say, unless if you don't have plans at 2 in the morning, I would say to go along. Go along to that second party and really have fun. And it's when you get you make some of the best memories. And finally, like I said, these are kind of my experiences in studying and dealing with Japanese culture and etiquette. Everything is different, but I would say, it's all about looking at Japan and looking at your experiences through the eyes of a Japanese person, and try to really embrace the culture that you're in. It's not a tough life, and if you have to do a few things that you might not like, it's just going to make you a stronger person, and you're going to learn a lot. So just make the most of it, and hopefully this has been useful for you, and thank you for your time.
To return to dress, if you have tattoos, I'm assuming in the workplace they need to be concealed, but like out in like public or just walking around, like do you think they would normally need to be concealed?
Well, I guess that depends on where they are.
Some of this is going to depend on if you're in a rural area
Yeah.
or an urban area. Definitely when you're interacting with your coworkers or when you're
Yeah.
at schools, they're going to definitely need to be.
You think about if you were in an elementary, middle, or high school in the States.
Yeah, no.
It doesn't matter whether you see the teacher in the classroom or in the grocery store, they're still your teacher. And even more so when you stand out so much, people are always going to be looking at you as sensei. So try and remember that.
Do you have any good suggestions for like omiyage, what to bring?
I think we'll probably cover that in what to pack.
Yeah.
But I haven't even been here a year, so I don't really know for Colorado what would represent.
Yeah, we can talk about one session.
Yeah.
And then we also